All right, we're live.
Sweet.
Okay, so let me read my example, and this is what I put as our example, but if we want to change it or if you don't like it, then we can change it. So Stewed Maytag is a vendor of refrigerators. He received a purchase order from Dave Home Supply for the purchase of 20 refrigerators. The terms of the order were that he would buy them at a discount of 15%, more than the standard discount rate, because he was buying in bulk. Stu responds by sending an acknowledgement to Dave and agrees, but states that 30 refrigerators must be purchased in order to justify a 15% reduction in price. When Stu sent his reply outlining suitable terms, he acknowledged that original offer and the contract was made. However, neither document, the purchase order or the acknowledgement, is controlling, so aspects of both documents will be used to enforce the contract. And the second document, the acknowledgement, will be a part of the contract if an agreement is made by both parties. So, and then for an example, I just gave an explanation of what the UCC 222-207 is, which is that it clarifies contract agreements and allows them to be more fair, as well as overruling the law of mirrors, which states that an accepted offer has to match an offer exactly, and the last short rule, which means that the last document sent before the contract is performed and is the standing document. So that overrules that. And then, so in this example, this code, second document acts as an addition to the first, and though neither are controlling,
you're cutting out pretty bad.
Both together act as a controlling document, so that in this example, Stu's acknowledgement works as an amendment to the first, and all other terms of the purchase order that were not amended are accepted by the acknowledgement and still in effect. So does that make sense? And is that good? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I didn't hear the part because I don't know, everything froze there for a minute.
Oh, how much where'd you come in at?
207.
Hey, Brad.
Hey.
Oh, so you fell out at statute at 207 when I was explaining it, or when I?
No, that's when I came back in. Right as you started, I don't know, everything just froze, and then I finally started hearing you again about 30 seconds later.
Okay.
But
okay,
yeah, I heard that part about the 207, how you were talking about like the mirror effect.
Right. So I'll start at the example because that was my explanation. So I'll do the example again. That's not a big deal. So I said, Stu Maytag is a vendor for refrigerators. He received a purchase order from Dave Home Supply for a purchase of 20 refrigerators. The terms of the order were that he would buy them at a discount of 15%, more than the standard discount rate, because he was buying in bulk. Stu responds by sending an acknowledgement to Dave that agrees, but states that 30 refrigerators must be purchased in order to justify 15% reduction in price. When Stu sent his reply outlining suitable terms, he acknowledged that an original offer and a contract was made. However, neither document, the purchase order or the acknowledgement, is controlling. So aspects of both documents will be used to enforce the contract. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, it's cutting out pretty bad. I mean, I heard the most of it, but I lost you there at the beginning a little bit. But yeah, most of it, yeah, I got.
Okay. Should we share the rest of our examples? Because we don't have to use mine. I just kind of threw it up there because I was just sitting here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else have something
So
else?
where we?
I can share mine.
Okay.
So we're just going through sharing examples right now.
Okay.
So my example is give an example of UCC-207 code applies to a contract between merchants. Orange Company is in negotiation with Selling Oranges Incorporated to form a contract. The proposed contract states that Selling Oranges Incorporated has exclusive rights to sell Orange Company's oranges. The CEO and CFO of Orange Company don't like the exclusivity clause because they would like to one day supply other supermarkets with their delicious oranges. Orange Company objects to that part of the proposal within 3 days, and instead of giving exclusivity rights to Selling Oranges Incorporated, Orange Inc. or Orange Company, agrees to supply their current maximum output of 10,000 oranges per month with renegotiable terms on quantity supplied every 2 years. So basically, one company is trying to sell something to another company. One company wants exclusivity rights. The other one says, no, I don't want that because one day I want to sell this to other people as well. But we'll give you the option to we can renegotiate in 2 years. Blah, blah,
I think
blah.
that's fair. I think that's good.
And
that's
also,
good.
I thought something that was important is that they responded to the proposal within 3 days, because that was a little sentence that was in there, is that it has to respond within a reasonable timeline. So I just put that. That's really, really fast in legal world. But
Right. Yeah, that's what I think too. I think that was important. I noticed that too. I was like, yeah, reasonable.
yeah.
I didn't hear all. I don't know why. And maybe it's cast, but it's cutting out part of that, but not. Unfortunately.
Yeah, you're kind of cutting out a little bit too, Kyler.
Am I?
Yeah.
It could be my
Yeah.
internet, or maybe it's just because I'm doing the broadcast. But you guys cut out a lot. Unfortunately, it's kind of a pain.
Oh, sorry, dude.
But whatever you said, Chandler, I'm sure it was good. So
Thanks, man. Appreciate the confidence.
if you
More
want,
simple names for my company.
I liked it.
I can share mine. I just came up with this and had to hurry and get something turned in. I didn't come up with like real specific like counter offers, kind of like you guys did. But I just said Joe is a commercial goods supplier for Alex, who owns a supermarket. Joe tries to get Alex to sign a contract where Joe is supplying Alex with different goods. Alex reads through the contract and accepts it, but wants to change some things that he believes are not fair for him. These changes are now proposals for additions to the contract. Joe receives it and also tries to make changes, but he feels it isn't fair for him. Joe should limit acceptance to the terms of the offer. And that's kind of all I put. I don't know if should have came up with better like examples or more specific details, or if that's even kind of what section 207 is talking about. But that's kind of instead of it. I don't know yet.
Yeah. The only thing that I saw in there, I think that they don't have to stick to the original offer.
Okay.
Because that was what's called the law of mirroring, and
Right.
and that actually is overruled by the 2-207. So, but yeah, other than
So
that,
they
that
can
was
come up with a completely different offer, like the person who receives it.
it as long as it's reasonable. It can't change like a lot. Like if it's not drastic. I think the words they used was substantial changes. If they're big, then they can't. Then that doesn't work. But if they're just little changes, then it just works as an amendment kind of thing to the original offer.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of what I thought.
Perfect
Yeah.
explanation. I like it.
If it doesn't change the contract materially, that's what it mentioned. So
True.
if you're adding, yeah, what you were saying about mirroring, it just means that one side doesn't have to be equal to the other side. They just have to both agree.
Okay.
Sweet. What did you get, Brad?
So what I did was I said Boeing Aircraft needs 500 aircraft tires from Goodyear for their new 787 Dreamliner. Goodyear gives them an offer of $5,000 a tire for the next 2 years and an option for a third year at $3,000 a tire. Boeing agrees to the offer and adds to the offer a clause that Goodyear will warranty each tire for 2 years of wear. Goodyear accepts the offer within 3 days and the change in contract. And they said under UCC 2-207, the contract does not have to mirror to be accepted if both parties agree on the contract.
Yeah, I like it.
That's good. Okay.
No, Brad, are you okay if I'm typing up this time and you can just do next, hit it,
Hey, that
or you have it done already?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Because
No, I
it
don't.
up and
No,
everything.
you're fine.
Yeah.
It's actually probably good because we have a big thunderstorm coming through, and
Yeah.
I don't know how. If I get struck, things will get go down quick because we lose power every once in a while. So
Okay.
anyway,
Well,
no, yeah,
hopefully
that'd be
doesn't
great. I'd
happen.
be happy to do it.
Yeah. Cool. So I'll take care of this, and if we're okay with using my example,
That's hey, if you already got it typed up, I'm okay with that.
okay,
Yeah. Go
Okay.
for it.
sweet.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I haven't done a question. I've had a little bit of ideas, but I haven't done that. But I have an example and our explanation done. So for the question, do you think that we should do something like? I think that we should maybe talk about a little bit about the aspects, what make why UCC 202-20207 is important,
Mm-hmm.
and what makes it different. Maybe even why it's limited to merchants rather than like that are selling goods, not just services, because services aren't the same as
Right.
goods.
Yeah, and I think also you should make a point, or if we can bring in the fact that something like how it differs from a mirroring contract, because that's what everybody's used to is a mirroring contract where it's equal for both.
Mm-hmm.
True in this case.
Right.
Yeah, I think that could be really beneficial to just kind of talk about what are the differences between UCC 2-207 as opposed to mirroring. Just like those 3 or 4 things.
Yeah.
Or something. It doesn't even have to be that, but I think that mirroring should definitely be a part or a good aspect of the question.
Right. No, I guess
or use
next,
it as a.
I'll go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say, or use it as a choice. Is this an example of a mirroring clause, or is it a or something like that maybe?
Okay. So, should we use UCC 2-207 as in our question, like that wordage, or is there like a name for it, or is that just kind of how the code is known? I'm so new to this, I have no idea.
No. See, there's 2 parts of that, because when I was reading, there's like a part 1 and a part 2,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody else is doing a part 2, and we're kind of doing the first part. So I think we can kind of we got to be careful if we're not treading on somebody else's.
Oh shoot! I didn't realize
You know
that.
that?
I kind of read up on the whole thing, trying to figure out what it was about.
I mean, maybe I interpreted that wrong, but as I looked through what all the groups had to do, it had us doing one and another one saying 207, 207
Part
dash.
2.
I think it was 207 parenthesis A close parenthesis.
Or it's
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
207 parentheses 2. It has a number 2 in there. So Brad, yeah.
Okay.
And that's group 21 that has that.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because in that code, I was reading up on it online. There's 3 parts to it.
Yeah.
Right. And
And so-
I think that's what she's referring to in that.
Okay.
So we have the first part.
Okay. So do you want me to read that first part real quick so we know what the bounds are and make sure that we're still square? I have it up here.
Yeah, no. Yeah, go ahead.
So the official wordage is a definite and seasonable expression of acceptance or written confirmation which is sent within a reasonable time operates as an acceptance even though it states terms additional to or different from those offered or agreed upon unless acceptance is expressly made conditional on assent to the additional or different terms. So I think for this part, we can talk about aspects of the code explicitly. So, like for example, we can talk about a reasonable time and when it's acceptable to make changes, or when changes can be made and when they can't be. So like they can't be made if it explicitly says they can't, but any other time that a change is made, it's like automatic.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the way I understand it. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking.
Yeah. So in our question, what if we just said something along the lines of, what's the exact code? The 2207. So are you thinking like which of the following are examples of say
Did he freeze?
Yeah, looks like he's froze.
He's a goner.
I started typing what he was saying, and then I was like, wait.
You just have a bunch of one letters.
I said, which of the following are examples of? So maybe we should say, I don't know, what is it called? It's UCC 207. UCC
2-207.
Yeah, 2-207.
Maybe examples of. I don't like that. If we're going to say that, we can say which of the following are
Examples of
Parts
contracts
of?
that may happen between merchants.
examples of. So which of the following are examples of contracts that will happen between merchants?
That's what I said. That's really broad.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the wording that they use at the top of the paragraph for 2-207
No.
is between merchants.
Well, how about which of the following are parts of the code of which of the following are parts of
Maybe we could do which of the following would violate UCC 2-207.
okay, I like that. Which of the
Oh,
following
yeah, that's a different way.
would violate principles, I guess,
Yeah.
of UCC 2-207. Okay.
And then it looks like there's three parts on there, especially. Or I, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3.
Right, that's right on the book. I forgot about that.
So it can't alter. It cannot materially alter the offer. It cannot. Well, the offer prohibits such varying, and it happens within a reasonable time. So we could just say like, response to a contract 365 days after the proposal.
That for
In
the
any
correct answer.
case,
Yeah.
that would be way too long.
Yeah.
Are you guys
Or
working on the
we could-
question
maybe
still?
we could-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to switch to my phone internet. I don't know why, but my internet's not working right now. I think optics just went down. Our internet's not working. So are you coming up with answers or?
So our question that we think we came up with is which of the following would violate the principles of UCC 2-207?
Okay.
And so Chandler was just saying that that we could say for the right answer, which what would violate it would be response 365 days after the initial offer. So
A response after the initial.
yeah, 365 days after. So like not in a reasonable amount of time.
Okay.
We can even say unreasonably. I don't know, something like so. How about this? Jim responds to Adam's offer of, I don't know, buying his apples. Apples. 365 days after the initial offer. So buying his apples and unreasonable. Okay,
Reasonable amount of time.
yeah, so I said Jim responds to Adam's offer of buying his apples an unreasonable 365 days after the initial offer. Boom.
Sounds good.
Okay, and so the feedback would be
We might not even need to have the unreasonable 365. I think you could just say response to Jim's offer to buy his apples 365 days after the proposal.
okay.
I mean, we could put it in there, but I think if they read the first, 2 or 3 sentences of that paragraph, they'll say it must happen within a reasonable amount of time. And it says
Right.
reasonable. I mean, that'll be an easy question. We won't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so just 365 apples.
Yeah.
365 days after. Okay. And then the feedback would be UCC 2-207.
Requires that
Yeah.
the offer objects within a reasonable time.
Objects or amends, right?
Yeah.
And about that is, does that need to be specified in the contract, or what's reasonable amount of time? Because I mean, is that something that because I didn't quite get. I mean, I understood it, but I was like, well, I mean, that could go
I think
both
it's due to
ways.
speculation a little bit.
And
Yeah.
what you're selling, like
Yeah.
if you're
But the
selling
example of apples, I mean, they're going to be out of season by next season. I mean,
No, I agree with what you're saying, but I'm just trying to, in my head,
yeah, I
I
know.
was just trying to think, well, if you,
I
Yeah.
think they did it. I think they did it on
You could
purpose. Different, like unreasonable, because it's going to be different for what you're selling, no matter what it is. So, like, if you're selling airplanes or big yachts, it might not be unreasonable for a year gap in between because of
Right.
the
Yeah.
right.
material.
I guess I was questioning, you would probably put that in your contract, so why would you not put that in your contract anyway? Saying you need to respond within that. When you buy a house, it says, well, this offer is good for, 72 hours or something like that. So
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that's probably one of the ways that they justify and make me do that, because it probably
Yeah.
depends.
Yeah, what is that similar to? Like
Yeah.
liquidated damages or something like that? It's already
Right.
predetermined.
Yeah.
yeah, wow, you just went way over my head by saying that. So I don't know.
Oh, that's the one where she talked about in the video last week about the caterer in the wedding. and how
Oh,
they.
okay. I missed that.
Oh, okay. So I guess for one of the wrong answers, we would write something along the lines of Jim responds to
Yeah,
Adam.
we could use the same Jim responds to for all four answers if we wanted to. Or
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim's response to Adam's offer with, I don't know, within 3 days.
week.
Oh, 1 week.
3
Yeah, that
days.
sounds week. With terms he deems suitable.
with terms that, yeah. I think we should do, within 1 week, and then do another one, responds with terms that do not materially alter the original proposal or something.
Yeah.
With terms
Use the exact same words.
so with terms that don't
Yeah.
alter the.
Don't materially alter
Okay.
terms of the
Don't materially alter.
contract.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim responds to Adam's offer. With terms that don't materially terms. Buying his. Okay, so we just need one more wrong answer, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we got here?
What is the first point? The offer prohibits such varying.
That's what I was just
I don't quite
reading, and referring to like someone who like proposes terms like unreasonable or
But I
like
feel like that would
vary
fall
too
under the
much
second.
too.
So the way that I understood it was that, let's say somebody sends an offer with the wordage of, let's see, I read something about this. Hold on. With the wordage of, my terms only. For example, the buyer sends a purchase order that contains my terms only in the provision, and the seller responds. Yeah, so that would be when that's happening. So that means that the seller can't renegotiate if the deal is to deal with that contract, with that purchase order.
The seller can't renegotiate, or the buyer?
So if the buyer sends the purchase order that contains the words "my terms only," or even the sellers can,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think that's
So
what.
is it not necessary to meet all three of those criteria then?
I don't think so.
I mean, it doesn't say.
I think
as
it could
written,
just be
so-
like those, couldn't it?
Yeah, I think it's acceptance of the. I think these are the three things that would prohibit.
Yeah. Those three that are prohibiting it, right?
Yeah. So these three, any one of these things could make it void, and so we use the one. So if we say, I don't know, the last one I guess we could just say something like, oh,
What's the guy's name again that you have in the question?
Jim
Adam
and
and-
Adam. Yeah.
So what if you just said, I'm trying to wrap my mind around how to say it. Jim sends an offer that says something along the lines of like use the word my terms only. You could use that phrase, and then you could say the other person tries to change that or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking out loud.
Well, that would violate it. So I guess this one, Adam. Oh no, Jim.
It's basically I feel like that first point is creating a unilateral contract.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you can renegotiate shoveling grandma's porch for $5 every time it snows, but like grandma's also just gonna be like, all right, well, I'll just make you do it for free then. You're welcome.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but see, you got to remember that we're talking about merchants. So we're talking
Right.
about specific sale of goods,
Not services.
services.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's what the difference would be. I understand what your point is, but I think that's what the difference is, that you're talking about goods for
That
goods.
makes sense. Right.
I'm
good
trying to
one.
figure out the same on the line that Kyler was trying to think of. So,
Well, I think one of the statements that said in there, what the offer. Let's see, the offer says that the offeree can't add terms. You guys
Right.
are saying. So
So Jim sends a proposal to Adam requesting the supply of 200 apples and 200 apples only.
so, and then okay. I like that. So
Yeah.
Jim responds to Adam's offer about buying 200 apples. Buying 100 apples and only 100 apples only.
And I wonder if all three of the conditions could be met in a contract such as that, where you only are allowed to purchase 200 apples. However, you can negotiate, alter the price of those apples. And that's where the second point would come in, because it's not substantially altering the product. I don't know.
well, I think when it says materially, that then you're making a counteroffer that is saying, well, you can, we'll pay for your 200 apples, but I'm going to only pay, $5 a bushel or something like that. And so where it affects the money or the material in this sense, what they're contracted to do. Where if you just add a term like, well, you're going to make sure they're good for 30 days, then that doesn't really make it. It's more of, okay, you're just gonna make sure that they're crated nicely so that they can be shipped across the U.S.
Yeah,
That's how I understood it.
that makes sense.
Is that
Yeah.
that's how I understood it? Because material to me means that you're going to change something that is going to affect me monetarily, or I'm going to have to do that's going to in some way or another, which means it gives me either more time or more labor, and that affects me, monetarily.
Yeah.
Right. Get that. I'm just trying to think of what we can do for this last one, because we already have one about
I keep dragging us backwards because I'm still trying to understand the difference between those two things.
okay. So here
No,
that's all right. So this is what I have for wrong answer 3. Let's pick it apart and see if we can get it, something that works. So I said, Jim responds to Adam's offer of buying 200 apples, buyer's terms only, by sending his document of acknowledgement in a cent. So Adam doesn't change, oh no, Jim doesn't change anything in Adam's offer because it was buyer's terms only.
That's good. I like it.
So that shouldn't violate it, right?
Nope. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Is that clear? I'm not sure if is everybody's good with that, right? I don't want to be
No,
like.
I'm thinking it through my head.
Yeah.
So that's why I was just trying to see what.
Yeah.
Because he's accepting the terms.
Right.
It's good.
He's accepting the buyer's only terms.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I know. It's yeah.
Yeah.
Too much gray area in law. I hate that. Drives me nuts.
That's why attorneys are always going to have a job.
That's right. That's right.
That's why I'm going into it.
Yeah. So I'm right for the feedback. I'm saying since Jim is accepting buyer's term only, a buyer's term only contract, and not changing anything, it doesn't violate the statute. It doesn't violate UCC 2-207. Okay. Everybody happy?
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear what we had down. I froze again, but I mean, yeah, I don't know why, but this has just been not working at all today.
So I'll just read what I have again. I said, Jim responds to Adam's offer of buying 200 apples, buyer's terms only, by sending a document of acknowledgement in a cent. And for the feedback of that was, since Jim is accepting the a buyer's term only contract, and not changing anything, it doesn't violate the UCC 2-207.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. That works.
All right, cool. Sorry I wasn't much help, man. I just kept freezing today, like getting lost.
That's all
Right.
good. So Kyler, if you want to send me the link to this,
Yeah.
I can post it. And then if you want to post it to the Google,
Yeah, the
Google,
page.
yeah, that would be
I'll
awesome.
get it on there. Yeah, you just want me to send it in that Google Hangout message thing we have going?
Oh yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, I'll just send it in that.
Cool. Anybody else have any questions or anything about what's going on?
How'd you guys do on the
How'd you guys
exam?
do on that? Yeah, I was gonna ask the same thing.
I got a B.
I did too.
Wow.
I got a B minus.
Wow.
Wow, well, good.
I didn't do
we got
that
a super. Oh, you didn't?
No, I gotta appeal big time.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Just
appeal.
got messed up. I don't know what it was. Got messed up in a lot of the contracts. I was like, man, what contract is that? And it just is like, ugh.
Yeah.
So that's
really,
all right.
What really helped me in studying that, getting it all straight in my head, was those videos that were on the thing.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
watched
those were
those
super
a couple
helpful as well.
times.
Oh, at the preparation
Yeah.
page.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I watched. That's what helped me on this one, was watching those videos.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, they explained a lot.
That helped me figure that out. What was the mirroring and not? Yeah. It's all right. Last week was a bad week for me, so I was like, whatever. Stuff that in the back of my backpack and throw it out the window.
Sweet.
Yeah. All right.
So
Okay.
I'll email you everybody this the document that it's done, and then I won't send it until tonight. So if you guys want to make any changes to what I have written, then you can just let me know.
Okay. Yeah,
right.
sounds good.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Okay,
Yeah,
see ya.
everybody have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.